hello. Lovely Saturday, almost morning. Oh.
I'm not, you know what? I'm not gonna argue today because it feels like I always argue. It's like I always try to count the points, your every point in the podcast. So yeah, sure. It's morning.
But it is almost morning, though.
The way I say it, like it's almost morning, as if it's like 5 o'clock or 3, and then like, oh yeah, it's almost morning. You're better off
Okay.
saying it's almost afternoon, or it's still morning.
It's like you wake up at 11:50 and then you go out and claim, oh yeah, I woke up this morning.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you're better off saying it's still morning instead of it's almost morning.
No, I mean almost because it
It
doesn't
is
count.
so good.
It doesn't count. But anyway. One set. Anyway, welcome to another episode of
It's the Diaspod.
It's the Diaspod, baby.
We're back.
Again, we took a long pause, but we
know whose fault is that.
We're not going to give explanations for this one.
That's how you know they're guilty.
Sometimes you just need to keep the ball rolling and not explain why it stopped.
Of course. If it wasn't their fault, he would have been giving explanations.
Okay. How are you doing this lovely summer? It's not so lovely, but yeah, it's a weekend, so maybe that makes it lovely. How have you been?
I've been here and there, to be honest. Yeah, it's been a touch and go situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell us more.
I mean, if this was therapy, I would literally pour my guts out. But since it's not, but yeah, it's been like that. I think the last time we made the podcast I was still doing school, I guess, exams and all of that.
It was exam time.
Yeah, and yeah, as I said, it's been touch and go. I think maybe I mentioned this even then, like exams are hard for me this past semester, and then I feel like after Zambia, it's been going downhill from there. I'm not sure why.
You were supposed to be re-energized in Zambia. Like, what happened?
It feels like the opposite happened, and I just came back, and I feel like I'm more lost than I usually am, and that's like I'm not usually lost now. I'm just like, yeah. So it's been touch and go, and I guess knowing like the Norwegian summer, we had like a few days of sun, and it was like, oh yeah, energy. You feel excited to do stuff, but then now we are in the gray cloudy summer, so it's just like it's not. Yeah,
it doesn't help.
Touch and go. How have you been?
I'm okay. I know I'm better than you, so
definitely,
yeah.
That's true. No doubt about it.
I had hoped the summer would turn out much better than it is, but yeah, it's going okay. It's going okay. I've had worse, so I can't really complain. I will say I'm not really good, but I'm good. Yeah, and like not okay, but I'm good. I'm trying to be optimistic, so yeah, I just don't want to go like I think next week or in the next episode we're going to be talking about about ferie, about the vacation.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, maybe then
definitely
we'll pour our
we need
hearts
to have,
out.
Yeah. There's a lot of hearts to be poured there because our hearts are still breaking. Right now it's still fresh. The wound is fresh.
The wounds are still fresh. Yeah. But on to today's gist.
Lay it on us. What we got?
So yeah, away from the emotional pain, we are going to look at the physical aspect of pain. At least we're going to touch on that.
Wow. So either way, we're talking about pain.
Yeah, we're talking about, it's not necessarily pain, but maybe how to, how to deal with it or handle the pain, or people that actually, deal with that kind of pain.
Now I'm just confused. Are we talking about pain or are we not talking about pain?
Let me explain. So today we are talking physiotherapy or physical therapy. yeah, we're just going to dive in to the field. I know you and me both, we know very little. When I told you about this yesterday, you were like, oh my goodness, I have no idea. Zero.
Yeah, because you are claiming that I had experience with physio. I'm like, when, like, hello, did I have another life just in between here and I became a physiotherapy master?
No, I, for most people, when you talk about some of these fields, uh, you you tend to think of complex issues. When you're thinking physiotherapy,
It's a big
it's a
word.
big word. Yeah, it's a big word. I would actually relate it to my field of study. When you tell somebody, I studied social anthropology, they're like, oh my goodness, what is that? But
What
then
animal be that?
you just break it down to the most basic aspects of the field, and it's not so hard anymore.
Okay.
So I will ask you this: what comes to mind? What comes to mind when you hear physical therapy?
Somebody breaking your bones? You said what comes to your mind. That's what comes to my mind.
Somebody breaking your bones? Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. Also, maybe I should have mentioned that we're going to have a guest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's good that, we have somebody with more knowledge than the two of us here, just so that if we lie about something, they'll be able to correct us. Yeah. But yeah, just, anything, just the basic things that come to mind. Breaking bonds?
Seriously, that's what
Really?
comes to my mind because physical therapy, from my understanding, is you needed to have had something go wrong with your bones or
Mm,
your body.
yeah.
So yeah, and then now it has to be. I don't know if it's massaged back together or
Mm,
rehabilitated. I have no idea. So that's why breaking bones came to mind because
mm.
most of the people that I think go for physical therapy have had to have something broken or wrong with their bones.
Yeah, some kind of physical disability.
Hmm.
Yeah, in that sense. I'll tell you a story about my mom.
I think we
Uh,
can both have stories.
but now you have a story, and yet you didn't go. You go ahead and share your
No,
story.
no, 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 no. Go. And I was just saying that I think we both have stories in that aspect, but yeah.
Yeah. So when was it? In 2012, I think. Must have been 2012 or 2013. No, it was 2014 actually.
Hmm.
My mom had a stroke. I wanted
Hmm.
to say a physical stroke. I don't know. Now the word physical is in my
Is in
head.
your head.
Yeah, so somewhere around 2014, she had I like to call it a mini stroke because it wasn't one of those severe cases.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, if you look at it now, it was quite severe.
Hmm.
But due as a result of that mini stroke, she ended up with partial paralysis. She
Hmm.
could not walk anymore. Like she wasn't like entirely paralyzed,
Mm-hmm.
but her sort of feet were weakened.
Hmm.
Yeah, so she couldn't walk anymore. And it's one of those things that, of course, it's around that time that I came into contact with the idea of not or with the field of physical therapy
Therapy.
or
Hmm.
physiotherapy, because she needed to go to the health facility or the clinic for sessions, like
Hmm.
walking sessions, because when you're, like I said, she wasn't fully paralyzed, so she needed to exercise a lot just so she could sort of strengthen her muscles, something
Yeah.
in those lines. And yeah, it was then that I had always heard of the field of physiotherapy before, but you tend to, I think it goes with perception. You
Yeah.
go like, this is for people out there. It doesn't.
It's
it's
not for the rest
it's
of
not
us.
necessary here.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it was at that time that it got into our circle, at least our family, because
Hmm.
since that time it's just been around, like I've interacted with at least 2 physiotherapists. And also I have a cousin, Papo. Shout out to Papo. I wish you were here on this podcast, but I don't know what happened. Yeah, so right after, my mom began those sessions, this guy also, my cousin, he also went to school for physiotherapy to become a physiotherapist, which he is right now.
Okay.
And yeah, like following him on social media, you can see he works with sports, like club sports. So, when players are, needs their muscles relaxed, or they need, I'm pretty sure
But they need a massage.
they really need the massage, and to make sure that their fitness is up there.
Massage.
I'll need to ask, actually. I'll need to ask our guest if massage actually counts, like as physical therapy.
That's an interesting one.
We'll
Yeah.
ask. Let's keep that in mind. Yeah. So my question, I guess, would be, why do you think the field itself is generally not necessarily appreciated, but there's very little knowledge about it, especially where we come from? Like, it's not like, if you mention the word nurse, for instance.
Yeah. As I said, it's like, from my basic understanding, it's, a rehabilitation of some sort when after something has gone wrong. It's not like something that you encounter in your everyday life of, easy, well-abled person, and you just go like, oh, I'm going for physiotherapy at the hospital. Somebody asks, oh, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? So it's not always like that. So that's why I think maybe there's not that much interaction with a lot of people, because we are trying to survive the economy. So physiotherapy is a luxury.
It's a
at this
luxury.
point, unless you have to necessarily, like, oh, if I don't go for physio, then I'm gonna die, kind of situation. Yeah.
Exactly. And I mean, I've it's not like we never get injured back home. Like, we never
Oh, we
we
do.
always get those you want to call them minor injuries. And instead of like going to the hospital, you probably just tell yourself, it's gonna heal,
And in most cases it does.
I just remembered something about this. I think I told you this story. Somebody once asked about my teeth. Yeah, because this person had once wore braces.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's only when they asked me, they're like, why didn't you ever wear braces? Like, they were asking me. I was like, was there any need for me to wear braces? And then the person was like, no, I can see your teeth they're in different directions. If you were actually wearing braces,
that would have been
it
straightened out.
would have been avoided. And it just dawned on me that these things that we just let slide and go like, okay, we can live through life with this as long as you can live through it. So you might have like a physical problem, for instance, but it's so
As
minor
long as-
that you can go like, you just go like, I'll just live through it.
And then most of the times it's not like you that decides. Because I remember I was only privileged to go to the dentist when I was younger, because it was part of like my dad's company's scheme. They had a company hospital back then before, liquidation and companies collapsed and all of that. So we had access to some sort of like free medical care. And I put free in air quotes because the hospital was poorly understaffed and, like the usual hospital problems, but worse. Yeah. So they really didn't have the equipment most of the time or whatever. So, and the funny part was that it was literally right opposite the government hospital, where like you go to the company hospital and they're like, oh yeah, just go over there.
Just go.
Yeah. But then luckily, or should I say fortunately, the dentist department, because it's not, I want to say it's not part of our system that you have to go to the dentist very so often. So my dad used to take us just because he could take us,
Yeah.
and also because the dentist department was underutilized. And it's something that they used to tell them at work, like, guys, go to the dentist.
You have to
like,
go to the dentist.
They have the equipment and the medicine, but like nobody really uses it at our clinic. I mean, they only encourage you to go to the actual clinic because they knew they didn't have medicine and everything else. But like at the dentist, the staff was there because nobody was going.
Yeah.
So my dad would take us, especially me, because by the time my younger sister was growing in that teeth age, the hospital had died completely. So it's something. I compare this to like the physiotherapy kind of thing, because here you actually see people actively go to like the chiropractor and the health host and all of those things, because it's something that's part of the system. As you grow up, like you have access to these things. But some of us have these things the more you go to the department at the hospital and they tell you, oh, that department, they only work on Tuesdays.
Oh my goodness. Absolutely.
Yeah, so I kind of see like, where that whole reference for you has been like, it was a problem. Obviously, your family probably did notice, but they're like, he's fine. It's not like,
it's just okay. He can take it.
It's not like you can't eat. If you couldn't eat, then something would have been
like
done
when
about
it gets
it.
to a
But
point where you can't eat, right?
It's just a few crooked teeth. He can still smile. It's fine. So no need for braces.
That is very true. Yeah, and I think it also goes with cost. Getting back to my mom again. Of course, there were sessions that were provided by like the health facility, but then she could only go there like once a week.
Yeah,
which was not enough. Yeah, it wasn't enough. So like in order to make sure that she would be making progress, like it made an actual difference, we needed to put in extra investment. To make sure that she got like private sessions in addition to what she was getting at the health facility. So I do think that's, again, just like you mentioned, it seeps into the setup at the health facility. You would find that it's not open like throughout the week. It's not going to provide the service that's going to make a difference. Yeah, they're just there to say, it's almost as if they're just providing the service to say, we are here. Like there's a physiotherapy department, but but it's definitely not enough. Yeah. So I think at this point we can introduce our guests, and we'll just take a short break. And when we come back, we will be talking to Phanwell Banda. And let's see if we can get some answers out of him. Okay, welcome back. So we have our wonderful guest on the line, Mr. Phanwell. Your line says Prophet Phanwell. Which one do you prefer to? Should we call you Prophet Phanwell or Phanwell Band? Which one do you prefer?
I think Phanwell Banda will be just fine.
Okay.
Why are you running away from the prophet?
Enjoy, come on. I don't think titles are necessary right now.
I think you're the first person who doesn't want their title, because the way people cling to their titles.
Exactly. Yeah. They really claim. Okay, Phanwell, welcome to the Diaspod.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, so we were just dilly-dallying. I think we are the most ignorant people concerning physiotherapy.
No.
Let me explain. Let me explain.
No, you are not going to call us ignorant.
Before you interrupt me. Phanwell, this is I during the introduction, I asked a question. I posed it to my co-host saying, tell me something that you know about physiotherapy.
No, you asked me
And
what's the first thing that comes to mind.
oh my goodness. Okay. Anyway, you listen to the podcast. We'll listen to what she had to say before you got in.
Yeah, we'll see who's lying and who's telling the truth.
Exactly. So,
Yeah.
Fano, just for a start, maybe you could, just tell us about your background or just about yourself in relation to physiotherapy. Like, where did you study? Where do you work? And how has your journey been? Just briefly.
But what if we want to know more about him?
Then you can ask.
Okay, so maybe I'll give a little background about myself before I get in relation to the education and all that.
Thank you. What if
Yeah.
we want to know if
So
you're single?
Of course, most definitely. Please go ahead. Share as much as you can. I was trying to protect you, but
yeah, I guess as a prophet, I'll try to go as deep as I can.
Yes, please.
So yeah. So basically, my name's Phanwell Banda.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I've lived, or rather, I've grown up in Zambia, Zambia, Mumbwa specifically. There is a town named Mumbwa, yeah, in Zambia.
Yes.
So that's where I've grown up. And that's where I've like spent most of my education, or rather, I would say my primary education. I think I did my primary education at a school in Mumbai known as Sanje Bay or Sanje Primary School.
Oh,
So that's where I did my education, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Until up grade 9 when I passed my grade 9. I was taken to Serenje Boys Technical School. That's where I did my secondary school.
You went to Sebotech.
Oh, is it called Sebotech? Yeah. Okay, Shine, you know that.
Us boarding school kids, we know the boarding school lingo.
Known as the island where birds fly backwards. It was quite a tough school at that time. I don't know.
That's a bit dangerous. Where birds fly backwards.
You know this boarding school. Yeah, you can imagine too much mockery there, too much. Oh my goodness!
Oh my!
It was something else. Yeah, but we managed. We pulled through, and I got 11 points.
Oh,
and then
nice.
From there, I think from there that's when I began to like try and see what I can study. At first, I didn't know. I just like you guys claiming to be ignorant about physio. I was so ignorant. I didn't know what physiotherapy was all about. Yeah, and I think I'd never heard of it at the time.
Yeah.
That was in 2014 when I was trying to apply because I completed in 2009. I delayed a bit before going to school. Yeah, so 2014, that's when I kind of applied. And the way it happened, I didn't know what it was. I just applied blindly.
Wow.
And at the time, I got accepted at Evelyn Horn because I applied at Evelyn Horn. At the time I got accepted, that's when I kind of began to do a research.
Oh, okay.
I began to do a research. Yeah. So there's some people I knew who were doing physio at the time. So I began to do some research to inquire what it was all about.
Yeah.
And then got a bit of some knowledge, some information as I went through the course. So yeah, so 2014, 2015, 2016, I got done because it was a diploma that I did. Yeah, so I got done in 2016. That's when I began to work at Skanze Police Hospital.
Oh, yes.
So yeah, so I worked at Skanze Police Hospital from 2016 up to 2021. I think beginning of 2021, somewhere there.
Yeah.
Before I got called for police training.
Oh, okay.
So just to explain a little bit about my experience there. it was quite a good experience because through my work at Kansas Police Hospital, I had an opportunity to do private physio. So basically, this is where there's some patients, some clients that wouldn't want to come to the hospital every single day because, as you know, when you're diagnosed with a condition, a physiotherapy condition, a related condition, you have to be given an appointment. So meaning, for example, a patient has got stroke. Meaning there are days that you have to be coming for treatment, for physio. Is it exercises? Is it whatever kind of therapy? So they'll be given an appointment. So now there are patients who are not comfortable with the aspect of always coming to the hospital. So they would rather, so they would rather they have a private therapist, somebody that would follow them to the convenience of their homes. You treat them from there. So I had an opportunity of having numerous private patients at the time who needed that kind of service. So I would be working, I knock off, I go see my clients. Weekends when I'm not working, I would spend that time seeing my clients. So through that, I was able to make some extra income.
Definitely.
Until I had an opportunity again to work with Nkwazi football team. So that's how rich physio is. So I was able to be attached to Nkwazi football team. And I was able to work with the sports office in that vein. So a little bit about my background, my education, my work. I think that's about it.
Most definitely. I think we. No, most definitely. I was just about to say. I think we have a general picture of how the past couple of years have been, which is really, really interesting. I was just talking about this with Tenjiwe, and I would like to get like your opinion. Why do you think, like, in during the time that you were applying to get into the field, you've clearly said that you knew very little, and I'm sure it's still the case for a lot of people out there. Why do you think this is the case, that it's not spread out there? Because I think in today's world, or in Zambia at least, if you mention the word nurse, for instance, everybody knows like what a nurse does. Why do you think a field like physiotherapy is not spread out there? Like, it's not everybody that you'd ask and they'll get to appreciate it as much as they would like appreciate the other common fields, for instance. Or maybe it's different now. I don't know.
I think as of now, it's getting to be known out there bit by bit, but so many people are still ignorant about it. And I think it's the issue of sensitization. I would say maybe I think maybe we would need a bit of some sensitization. Because even when you look at the aspect of fitness, the aspect of which has become so common in Zambia now, people want to do exercises, people want to maintain their fitness levels and all that. All that is in relation with physiotherapy. Physiotherapy is so broad. It's quite broad. So I think it's an issue of people getting to be sensitized about the importance of physiotherapy. Because if you go to other countries, you go to other nations, it's very much known and very much appreciated, and people are benefiting so much from it. Because I'll give an example. The problem is people come to know about physiotherapy when they are in need of it, like when they are in a particular condition. So we don't have a situation where people get to benefit from it to prevent those conditions. But we have a situation whereby people want to benefit from it after they have a particular condition.
I think that's a very, very important point. I relate to that. I just Yeah, just when we started, I spoke about my mom. Yeah, by the way, I should mention that my mom is one of your clients. Uh, we,
Yes,
we s-
yes.
we spoke about this. Is that I only got to appreciate this field when my mom developed the condition. Before that, I was,
Mhm.
my mindset was just set on this is, something that just rich people and people who have a luxury do.
Yeah.
Like, as an ordinary person, I really have no business in this. But it's only when,
Mhm.
yeah, tragedy strikes that you go like,
Right.
oh, people actually need this. People actually need
Yeah,
this.
yeah, that's
So
true.
I do
That's
agree
true.
with that point. I do agree with it.
And you are so right. Most people think physio is for rich folks, like those who have money. They're the ones who can afford. Yeah, I know it's quite expensive,
Mm,
especially if you look at it from other nations. If you look at other nations and all that,
yeah,
it's quite expensive. But all in all, it's very beneficial,
true.
and it's not only for the rich people.
Mm,
It's very possible for somebody to afford, even with little money and all that. It's very possible for them to afford physio. I think
mm.
what's more expensive is the private physio.
Oh yeah, the extra
The
like
solution-
private lessons.
Yes, the extra. Yes, that's the one that becomes more expensive.
Mm,
But from the hospital setup, I think it's very possible for anybody to afford the services,
ah,
especially in government hospitals as it is in our country right now. It's
mm-hmm.
very possible for anybody to afford the services. Yeah. So I
Okay.
think it's more important that we gain the benefits of it to prevent certain conditions, like certain heart conditions. Physio can help to avoid certain heart conditions.
Mm.
You know, even stroke itself.
Even
You know,
stroke itself, right?
yeah, even stroke itself, it can be able to help to avoid that.
Most
So
definitely.
um, yeah, so I think it's the issue of sensitization.
Okay, okay.
People need to be sensitized about its importance and its benefits.
Yeah. Tenjiwe, do you have a question for Fanwell?
Not a question, really. I was thinking when you were talking about, why people don't know so much about it, and I was thinking back to uni days of when you hear, like, when you meet somebody and you ask them, like, oh yeah, what are you studying? And they go like, oh, physiotherapy. And I remember the mentality that we
Mhm.
had back then would be like, oh yeah, so you failed to be a doctor, so now you're doing physiotherapy.
Exactly. We experienced that a lot.
Yeah,
Even I went through that.
yeah.
For some of us actually who went to colleges, the first thing wasn't even that
Yeah.
you failed to become a doctor. It was that you failed to go to UNZA first of all. It's,
Ooh,
oh, you failed to go
Well,
to
the
UNZA. Oh, so
exactly. Oh my
uh,
goodness. No, what I think what people don't know is that even the doctors themselves, general medicine,
mm,
they depend on a physiotherapist. They can't do everything by
exactly.
Mm.
themselves. They need a
Mm,
specialty. Yeah. They will not specialize in the bones, in the muscles. They'll have the knowledge of it, but they will need a specialty for it. Because I remember when I was working at Cancer Police Hospital, you'd have a situation about a doctor
mm,
who assess this patient,
yeah.
and then where there's need for physio, he will say, okay, go to the physio department. He'll refer that patient to the physio department.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's us who are going to assign that person for an X-ray, X-ray if there is need of an X-ray, and then examine that X-ray.
Yeah.
Even a radiographer will
Mm.
not be able to thoroughly examine the X-ray. He will say, okay, go back
Go back
and
and
let them examine the X-ray, yes, and tell you whether there's a fracture or not. You
exactly.
see,
Mm.
so I think the aspect of a doctor, also the doctor depends on these other, fields to be able
Very,
to do his work perfectly.
very, very true. I actually
Yeah.
have a question on this. Because I at some point, I know it's a long time ago, but I studied environmental health. And at
Yes.
my health facility, there was a problem that I had. I don't know if you had this because you've worked in like the city. What do you call it? In a town setup. I was working like in a rural area. So the problem was that it wasn't even like the general public that, of course, they also had this problem, so to say. But there was this issue of everybody putting you in a category of not doctor, but somebody that treats people. You know, as I was an EHT, like an environmental health technologist, but I was made to see patients, like giving out medicine. And I don't know, even when the management, the doctors came, they were so focused on, like, the medication and curing a disease through medication.
Curing
And
the symptoms most times.
yeah, like everything else, environmental health, they were like, okay, yeah, that's okay, but it's not important. Let's focus on this. So everyone like at the health facility was meant to do curative work. When we had a nurse, we had an environmental health technologist, we also had we had like 5 different fields there, but everybody was forced into this one line. I don't know, did you experience this at Skanze, for instance, where you felt physiotherapy was being neglected and there was focus placed on, yeah. Did that happen?
I think for me there it was never that way. Physiotherapist, you even have your own department. You only deal with conditions that are related to physio.
Okay.
If there's something that needs medication, definitely that person will not be referred unless the doctors or the clinicians suspect that there is an element of physio in that. Maybe it's because it's a rural setup,
Yeah,
and maybe
I'm thinking
because
so.
enough
Mm. No, I definitely agree because I worked at DHO and you could see like that was mostly the problem when it came to the differences in terms of like the urban and the rural clinics or hospitals, of where it would be more specialized and more focused in the urban areas, but the rural, you only got one person of each. So the focus will always be on the treating of patients instead of your dedicated field, because the main function of the health facility is supposed to be for the patient.
For the patient.
Yeah. So that's the unfortunate discrepancy between the two. Yeah.
That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah, but I think that's a huge disadvantage, because then you are not you're not covering a broader page, like, for example, you're neglecting your work. How then are you going to sort out those issues, those problems in your area and your field of work?
Yeah.
So I think it's important that maybe the government would have to look at empowering these rural, hospitals and clinics with more manpower,
That is
to
very,
avoid
very
such
true.
situations.
Very,
Yeah,
very
I think
true.
it's a thing that we look at. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. Now I just wanted us to talk about the relationship that you have with patients. I
You should
know
be
it's...
saying relationship prepared.
Oh, no, not that kind of relationship. I mean how you relate to your patients. If I should put it
Yeah.
that way. If I should put it that way. I know
Yeah.
this is I know this is, it's a very important aspect, because you are you might be dealing with somebody's physical condition, but I know physical therapy is long term. It's not something that you work on today and then the person gets better in 3 days. So, like, how easy is it to deal with patients, like, on when you factor in feelings, like, because it takes a lot of time and patience for them to see a difference. So yeah, how easy or difficult is it to deal with the emotional aspect of yeah.
Yeah, and in addition
Yeah.
to that is how are you supposed to be as a person? Like you, what attitude should you have, or like personality maybe, for you to be able to tackle like physiotherapy as a career, maybe?
Yeah. So I think it's most of the clients, or I'd say not all the clients are the same. There are others who are kind of frustrated by the condition they are in. Yeah, they are just so much frustrated. So even as they are, doing this physio thing, it's not like they love it. It's not like it's something they're enjoying to do, every day and all that. It's kind of frustrating for some patients, So how you need to relate with patients or with such patients or any patient is very key to you as a physiotherapist. I'll tell you honestly, physiotherapy shouldn't be, if you do this course with the view of making money, then you are getting it wrong.
You're going to get yourself
If
in trouble.
If you do it with a view of I want to make a lot of money, yeah, I know money is a factor. We need it and all that, but there must be that sense of calling, that sense of passion, for the sick, because you would be just so much frustrated. I'm telling you, and you'd be arguing with patients all the time.
Yes.
You really need to put your emotions under control. You're coming from home. You have a quarrel with your wife. You have a quarrel with your girlfriend. Don't bring those emotions as you come into that audience with the patient. The patient should always be right. That's what I can say.
Yeah.
Because for you to be able to manage, to handle patients, to handle clients, you yourself, you must have a kind heart. You yourself, you must be patient.
You must be very patient.
And yes, because you come, these some of these conditions, these patients have got high blood pressure and all that, So maybe that particular day, that particular morning, the patient didn't wake up on the good side. They woke up with moods. I've had clients whereby you go there, she's so moody, he's so moody, You just need to know how to break that code. You just need to, the way I relate with my clients.
Yeah.
My client would be in a bad mood this day. But I've come to a place where I've known my clients and I know what topic to bring up. I don't know. I know how to touch them and to bring them into that mood for the patient.
So they can
Otherwise, the patient, yeah. So that, they can be, because for you to have a successful session, the patient must be in the mood. If he or she is not in the mood, then you will not achieve anything.
Oh, yes. That is very true.
So you yourself, you need to know how to crack the code. You need to know how to be able to bring the patient into the mood. So in my many years of the different patients that I've been with, I've learned tactics and ways through which you can be able to, entertain. In fact, I would use the word entertainment. It's important in your session to bring about entertainment. You can, if you are good at jokes, you can be just cracking jokes, bringing in jokes. As the session is going on, the patient will not even realize you say we are done.
Yeah, that is true.
Because then there are jokes, you are laughing, you are enjoying the moment. The point is the person should enjoy the moment. So it's kind of a lot of work, I would say. It's a lot of work because the psychological aspect has to come in.
Oh, yes.
The psychological aspect has to come in, where you have to psychologically handle the patient with care, to bring the patient into the mood zone of the session.
No, I
don't know if I answered the question.
No, most definitely. You have.
It actually shows that, if I was to make a career change, physiotherapy is not a career for me.
It wouldn't work for you. you have no patience. You have no patience.
I'll tell you of this one situation. Like, there's this one client I had. He had what do you call it? Lymphatic cancer. like they discovered a tumor on his spinal cord, along the spinal cord. That was around T68, around that region. So there was a tumor there.
Yeah.
So they had to, at the hospital, they had to do an operation to remove the tumor and all that because it suppressed the nerves. So because of that pressure on the nerves, it kind of brought paralysis, like on his legs, both lower limbs, was paralyzed,
Yeah.
from the from the what do you call this again? From the bladder going down, he was paralyzed. You see, so meaning incontinence, all that, came in. It was a bad situation. So they called me right when I was still at Kansas. They called me. They needed a private physio.
Yeah.
So I went there, assessed, we did everything, and we started. Just for him to, anyway, it was a miracle that he started walking and he's gone back to work. But the process itself, people gave up. His family gave up. They said he can never walk again.
Wow.
You see, they said they gave up on him. They said he can never walk again. It's impossible. Even some of my colleagues at work who knew about this condition, they say this is an impossible situation. Just go there and make money.
Wow.
But I had some sort of hope. And I remember one day I just told him to say, pick up your legs. And to my surprise, this man was able to move the toes. He couldn't lift the legs, but he was able to move the toes. And just flicker of movement of the toes brought tears to the wife, brought tears to him. Because that was a sign of hope.
It was a sign of hope.
That was hope for the first time. Yeah. He moved his leg.
Wow.
So I think it calls for patience. It's about you, the therapist. You are the key. Because you can imagine the way everybody gave up. If I also gave up,
then it wouldn't have gone anywhere. You'd have given up.
Yeah. So I think you yourself can be able to induce hope in the patient.
Oh yeah.
So it's not an easy thing. It really calls for a lot of faith, a lot of guts, a lot of patience, because it really took us about 6 months for him to just make that flicker of movement on the toes. It took 6 months.
Wow.
And I used to see him every day. This one, because they wanted change. So he said, I want you to be coming every day. So I used to see him every single day. And it took 6 months.
And it took 6 months.
6 months. Can you imagine?
No, I do agree. It takes time and patience. And I personally, have like first-hand experience. I've seen it with my mom. I know how. I know how it affects her. Sometimes it gets frustrating. Other times she's happy with it. So it's never an easy process. Like I said, it's it's different from like curative work where you give somebody some medicine and they immediately begin to see changes. The physical aspect of it always, it takes time, and so you really need to pay attention to the psychological aspect as well, because people are not really that patient, and they're not willing to wait 6 months just to see, toes flickering. But if you're patient enough and I guess, explain it to them properly as a professional, then it makes a big difference. It makes a big difference.
I think that's another point. Just before we move on, that's another point. Like you said, you explain it to them, so they need to understand that this thing takes long, because otherwise they might be thinking just overnight that they'll start working again. So that part is very important.
Oh yes, that is very true. And I hope I've seen this in not necessarily health fields, but there was a guy I was watching the other day. I think I watched this with you, Tenjiwe. The financial guy. There's an accountant in Zambia. He's a chartered accountant. He deals with finances. So this is what he was saying. He's this radical guy. He gives people like real stuff, whether you like it or not. He tells you like this is this is the financial situation. So he was he was speaking against these financial advisors who make promises to people, like make fake promises to people. They give them advice, saying, oh yeah, you get rich. You're going to get rich if you invest in this field. If you invest in your money in this sector, you get money. When in actual sense, it's not true. So my point is, it's always nice not to give people like false hope. You cannot walk up to somebody and say, yeah, like you're gonna be better in 3 months, and then 3 months down the line they don't see any progress. So I think it's really important, just as you've mentioned right in the start, to tell people that, we are going to be doing this every day, but I don't want you to expect any changes in the next month or the next 2 months. This is going to be a long term, recovery process. And yeah, it will take time. And I'm sure that will settle people down. Even the family members, I'm sure, will go like, okay, yeah, we were told this and we actually understand. Yeah.
That's true. At least they will have that patience.
They will have that patience. I always, because I talk a lot, I constantly need to ask my co-host if she has questions, because I get so into topics that, I tend to feel as if I'm the only one.
No,
hosting.
I'm good. If I had a question, I always interrupt you. So,
but I should say this, Phanwell, if you listen to the podcast before you join, you realize that she talks more than me. She interrupts me every time mid sentence. So I'm not that bad.
I saw on that one you sent. Yeah, I saw the way she interrupted.
You noticed. Oh, so there's evidence.
Yeah.
So next weekend, I think we're almost in an hour. So yeah, maybe we could look at one more thing. I think you mentioned something about like extra work and side hustle, taking private like extra sessions with patients, because it's sort of convenient for some patients to do things privately, or maybe you have to go to their homes and just do it from there. It's much more convenient for them. Is it easy? First of all, like, do you get that many clients who want like private sessions? Is it easy to find like private sessions? Like how easy or difficult is it to find people that want like private sessions? Is it something that's common, or if you find somebody, you need to stick with them for a very long time? Like how has it been for you?
Okay, so for me, the hospital setup has made it easy, because as you assess new clients, through the conversation, you have an opportunity to share with them concerning the private physio.
Oh, okay.
So as you assess them, you give them options. You tell them to say, these are the, so this is the condition our patient has.
Yeah.
And you have to be coming, because like the minimum would give was 3 days.
3 days.
Coming for patient hospital, yes, depending on the condition.
Yeah.
If the condition is not that severe, it would be 2 days. Maybe Tuesday and Thursday, because I remember your mom, I think she would come on Tuesday. I think she would be Tuesday and Thursday.
Yeah, Tuesday and Thursday.
Those times. Yeah. So now there are patients who really want that quick change. They really want this thing quickly.
They want to make progress.
They just want to make progress, in short. Yes. So they would want this thing to be done every day, because then you would advise on the aspect of the caregivers. They'll have to be doing 1 or 2 things that they're able to learn from the hospital as the patient is being treated. They'll have to do that with the patient home. So in short, physio must continue at home. Even the days that the patient doesn't come for physio, it must continue because it has to be a consistent thing.
Yeah, exactly.
For change to be there, it has to be every day. That's the whole concept. It has to be every day. So now there are patients who wouldn't want just somebody ordinary who doesn't have the profession of the same to handle them. So they would want a therapist.
Yeah.
So then they would advise, rather they would ask if you can be coming to see them. So through that, you're able to create private patients.
Oh, okay.
The days that they don't come for physio, you go there to see them.
You go
the
there
days
to
that they
see
come,
them.
they come. Others would say, no, I just want private physio throughout. I don't want to be coming here. So then you get to have patients, private patients like that. Then as you do it, like I said, it's supposed to be passionate. It's supposed to, you put in your all, your hard work and everything. Patients are able to see. Because I remember when I was affiliated to Quasi football team, so I spent less time at the hospital.
Yeah.
The patients I used to see at the hospital, they started complaining about my absence.
Oh yeah, because it was different.
Because it was the experience now was different with the others. So my boss started calling me, your patients here are complaining, they want you here. Because the touch was different. Patients are able to see.
Oh yeah.
Where you put in your heart, they can feel it. They can tell to say, this is different.
Oh yes.
So as you put in your hard work like that, it's another credit. It's another, or I would say merit, where they will start recommending you to their neighbors, to their family friends, to their family. Somebody has a condition, they'll say, oh, there's somebody I know actually, he's good at this. So through that, you start broadening your clients, your number of clients starts growing through that. It starts growing. That's how I got many of my patients.
Oh, okay.
It was through recommendations.
Oh yes. No, I can actually attest to that. I remember when you went for the police training. Yeah, there was a replacement that was put like with the private lessons with mom, and she wasn't satisfied. She was complaining on the daily. Where is Phanwell? She really wanted you back, and yeah, we could not wait. Honestly, we could not wait. That is very true.
So I think it's the issue of hard work. To put in hard work, people recommend you, and you get many more clients.
Really, really true. Finally, we just would like to know your future plans. We know you want to go to South Africa because you're in South Africa right now. So we're just going to ask in general, like, do you have any future plans? Like, do you plan on?
It was going to be my question. Like, what is he actually doing in SA? What are you doing in SA? Tell us.
He would have told us if he
I want to know what if it's vacation.
What's the question again?
She wants to know what you're doing in SA.
I'm curious.
Okay. I'm gonna explain. Yes. So your question, I will explain on that one as well.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So for me, it's just your future plans. Like, what do you plan, or where do you plan on going with the field? Like,
where do you see yourself in 10 years?
Not that one. It's not an interview. We've heard that question so many times. Yeah, we just want to to know and to get an idea of his future plans regarding in the field. Yeah.
Only in the field.
Only in the field. Just in the field.
So actually, my plans, I really want to come up with my own firm. Apparently, I advise my young sister to do the same course because there is something that I'm trying to work on in the pipeline, which I want her to be a part of. Apparently, she's doing the
family business.
Come again?
You want to make it a family business.
It's going to be a family empire.
A family empire. I
Family
tell you.
empire.
Yeah. Actually, I already have a page on Facebook, Vine of Hope Wellness Center.
Oh, okay.
So that's the kind of my plan is to come up with a wellness center. It's just a center where we want to work with like preventive measures. What do you call it? You call it what? Is it proactive? Like yes, like preventing certain conditions.
Preventing
Helping people
conditions.
to prevent certain conditions. Exactly. Yeah. So we'll be dealing with all such kind of things. But of course, we have a lot of facilities according to the vision. We have radiology. We have, because we need the X-rays. We don't want people to go out to do the X-rays and come, but we want everything to be within their reach.
I'm telling you,
but the main focus and the center of it all will be physiotherapy.
Okay.
So a gym there for those who want to do fitness, which is one of the preventive measures of certain conditions. So want to have all that. So basically, that's the vision. That's the future plan. The major main future plan concerning physiotherapy, because of the experience that I've had, the interaction with a lot of patients. I've seen conditions and realize on how we can be able to prevent certain conditions, other than just waiting for somebody to have a stroke and then you start treating them.
Oh yes.
It's like you just want to wait for people to be sick and then you make money out of it.
It's so you can just make money out of it.
Exactly. But we want a situation where we can prevent certain conditions. You have nutritionists, so people know and learn on what they can eat, what they cannot be able to eat. Just a wellness center, in general.
Okay.
So that's the plan. And concerning I'm actually feathering on the same physio, a parallel arrangement with Apex. Yes, with Apex, a parallel arrangement, like distance, yes, for a degree.
Okay.
Which I would want to, yes, so I would want to soldier on from a degree until a PhD, so that at least even when you're employing people, at least you have a higher paper.
Yeah, you have the qualifications. You're employing people with degrees.
Yes. Diploma. No, that's unethical.
That is very, very true. Yeah, that's the right way.
So basically that's it. So yeah, in ASA, I just came for a visit. I came to see my fiance, by the way, Junior. I'm following in the footsteps.
He's following in my
soon
footsteps.
After you yeah, soon after soon after you, it will be us, those bells.
I will love to hear that. These are things that we love to hear. I know it's real love. If you're willing to go to SA for it, it's very real. I'm telling you. If you had said you're in town to see your fiance, I would have gone like, maybe it's not so serious, but SA, no, that one is real love.
Yeah, so basically that's that.
No, wonderful.
Yeah.
First of all, I would like to commend you for your for the vision that you have with the wellness center. That is really, really nice.
Please add yoga to your wellness center.
you should,
of course.
You should add yoga. Oh, and just before my final remarks, I thought Tenji was going to ask you this. Does massage count as physiotherapy?
Oh yeah, we had a debate about that.
Yeah,
it does.
Actually, on the side hustles, I wanted to mention that I don't know how I forgot.
No, but then he didn't say it properly. Does massage, not massage,
Oh my goodness! The way you're pronouncing it.
Exactly.
That's she's got a scary pronunciation.
So basically, a male personnel who does massage, think you know it's called a masseur. Then a masseuse is a female.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've had patients, I've had clients, specifically just a massage.
Ah,
So
okay.
they would just want. Yeah, I've had clients like that. I think a lot of clients have had
Wow.
male clients, female clients. A lot of them who would call me from time to time. No, I'm tired from work. I'm stressed. Can you come and give me? And you just do them a massage, a 200 kwacha, 150 kwacha, and that's it.
Wow. I think
Yeah.
I think I would just join physiotherapy just for that. It sounds like
please.
Actually, at some point, because I started having numerous. Maybe I think most people they tend to enjoy my massage because I remember there's my former landlord at the house I used to stay in Ibex Hill. I remember he called me. I was like, "Hey, physiotherapist, can you come and give me a massage?" So I went. I gave him a massage. And from then on, he started calling me and he started connecting me to numerous of his friends,
Oh my
numerous
goodness.
of his friends. I tend to have a lot of clients concerning massage.
Wow.
So it's one of the good hustle for physio, a side hustle. It's a good one.
Most definitely.
And I'm physio.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing stuff.
And the other thing I wanted to mention also, physio is very rich actually when it comes to the same side hustles you're talking about. You can't just be confined in working in the hospital.
Yes.
No. If you want, you may not even be employed by government. I've got a friend. You were in the same class. The guy he's refused to work in the government.
To just get full-time employment. Okay.
Yes, he's not doing full-time employment. Or he's doing side hustles, and he's doing very fine. He's building. So you can find yourself in sports. You can work with various sports as a physiotherapist.
Yeah.
You can work in a gym. Yeah. You can work what's this other thing? I've forgotten this other thing. Anyway, you can work in a gym, you can work sports, you can do private physio, you can do massage, you can even work at a spa where it's part-time. You just go there at certain hours. Yeah.
Okay.
You can't do physio and you get stranded. It's
you
impossible.
cannot get stranded, and that's really nice that you actually have an option. And it's like, especially with regards to employment, you don't have to wait until. I know a lot of fields need to wait until you get employed by somebody, but yeah, if you can actually go for the private hustles and they are sustainable, that's really that's really nice.
That, yeah.
You make it sound so enticing. You make me want to become a physiotherapist.
Because it is.
It is. And very interesting. I'm telling you, because you get to meet a lot of people. I've had contacts just through the same private person. I've had contacts with a lot of people in different sectors who have even helped my own. Like the police thing. The police thing, I never wanted to join police. It came through a private patient that I met. This lady just gave me a lift. And I was going to see another private patient. She just gave me a lift. I was at the station. She gives me a lift. And then she begins to ask me as we're interacting, only to discover I'm a physiotherapist. And it turns out she's got a son who's got, cerebral palsy. If you know CP, those children that can't. Yeah, cerebral palsy, And then she tells me I've got a son who's got cerebral palsy. And I would love a private therapist. That's how we exchanged numbers, and from then on, I became the private therapist, and not knowing that she's got connections up there. That's how she enticed me to join police. Since I was working at Kansas Police and all this, and she says, "I think it would be an advantage for you."
Oh yes.
So you see, you get to have a lot of contacts. Like
that is very true. Very advantageous.
Very advantageous.
So anyway, we've gone over the hour mark now. We need to conclude, but just as I was saying, I'm really impressed. I hope it comes to fruition, the wellness center. You
yes,
can.
please. We need more of those.
We'll be one of your clients for those ones. Once it opens, we'll be, one of the first people to walk in.
We'll be there for the massages.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, most definitely. And maybe, so and again, I just hope it comes to fruition. It's very important. Like seriously, it's a good plan, and I wish more people could actually think like you, and not just thinking of, oh yeah, who am I going to be? Who's going to employ me, and all of that. It's always nice when you build up enough experience and you see that you have capacity to like grow further, and just like you have your sister coming up in the pipeline, and you have a future plan to grow further and actually make like a bigger impact. So I commend you for that, and I hope it's it comes to pass, and it comes to fruition.
I agree.
We really pray so.
Yeah,
we really pray so.
Just maybe just as we wind up, you could leave us with a few words for anybody listening out there. Just anything that you'd like to say to them, concerning your wonderful field of physiotherapy.
Yeah, first of all, I think it's been a good talk, very educative, and I really appreciate you guys for allowing me, or rather inviting me to this podium.
Yes.
And I hope and pray that we get to have many more of these interactions in the future, so that we can just get to encourage many, many more people. It doesn't really matter your background. It doesn't matter where you come from, the state of your life right now. You can still make a difference.
Oh, yes.
I think the most important thing is the passion, because when I was joining physiotherapist, when I was doing this course, I didn't know what it was at first, but my passion was within the medical field. I wanted to do a medical course.
Yeah.
So physio still was within my desires, because all I wanted was to just help people, be able to help people, you know. So I think most importantly is the passion. What are you passionate about? Is it helping the sick? What are you passionate about? Is it money? Is it working in a bank? Is it doing business? Whatever is your passion, just pursue it. And as long as it's something you love, you'll be able to be successful at it. And I think through that, you'll be able to help a lot of people, as long as it's your passion, you know.
True.
Just don't give up. Just don't give up. That's what I can tell anybody listening out there. Just don't give up. Just believe in yourself and have passion and desire for whatever it is that you want to do, and you will be able to make it.
Wonderful words. Whoever is listening, if this is not enough to give them encouragement, then I don't know what will. But thank you very much, Phanwell. I know this came at short notice, but we are really, really thankful and appreciative that you took time out of your busy schedule to speak to us.
Out of your romantic vacation.
Yes, most definitely. And please pass our regards to the special one. Sorry, we stole you for an hour, but I'm sure you have plenty more time to be together.
Yeah, sure. No, thank you.
Most definitely. Well, you have yourself a good rest of the weekend, and I hope we get to have another conversation very, very soon. And most definitely. Thank you very, very much, Phanwell.
Oh, thank you so much, Junior. Thank you so much, Tenjiwe. Have a good one. Thank you.
All right. You stay well and take care. So, ladies and gentlemen, that was Phanwell Banda with physiotherapy.
He's a fun guy. I like him.
Really, really fun. And he suits his field. Yeah, you need somebody lively. And you need, just like he said, it's a calling. So he has the calling, definitely.
Yeah, and he speaks with the surety of, that's what he's meant to do.
True. So, yeah, I hope you've learned one or two things. And
yes, I have learned about the
next time.
massage. You know.
My goodness. Okay, we need to wind up now. Just, your last words before we.
My last words are let's be real here, guys. We work so hard, and we're always up and about. And just because we feel like we are able-bodied, that I woke up fine, that doesn't mean we don't deserve a massage at the end of the day. Get yourself a massage. This is me lobbying for a massage today. If it's not clear.
Oh my goodness. The massage here. I'm telling you.
Yeah, but no.
It's not that costly though. I should say it's not costly. I don't want to say it's costly, but yeah, it's okay. It's actually okay. I think a massage here costs like 600 krona for like 30 minutes. So
really, because I think it's about it's actually even lower than that.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't it like 400? Anyway, I don't know. I just saw like from one of like the massage places,
the massage,
Thai
yeah,
massage
because
places.
I think you spend less than 1,000 for an hour, so that's okay. That's pretty fair.
That's okay when you live a comfortable life. Yeah. So I think the conversation was very productive, and yeah, as you tried to point out that we were ignorant about the topic, I feel we have learned so much from Phanwell. It was a very productive discussion, and yeah. As we said, it's that thing of why if it was ingrained in our like society, in our systems, that we have to go for physiotherapy. Like, you have been wanting to go to the chiropractor ever since I met you, and that was like 5 years ago.
5 years ago.
You still haven't gone. Why is that?
Again, I think it's because I'm still walking. So
when you stop walking
when I stop walking, and then I'll give it more attention.
Oh, when you've been excruciating pain, yeah. And I think this is one of the points Fano tried to bring out of where, like, it doesn't have to get to that point. You don't have to be dying.
Yeah,
you can just go in.
And also, like, we fear the unknown. Just like Phanwell mentioned, yes, private lessons are an expense. They are on the expensive side, but these services are offered at the facility. Yeah, some of us just don't know that they exist.
True.
So sometimes it's just nice, even if you're not sick, just step into the health facility and see the services offered there. You'd be surprised. And
then it's not like, we all like going to health facilities. There's sick people there.
Exactly. And it doesn't help. But again, that's but anyway, that's a discussion for another day.
But then maybe another thing, but then this is something that would be out of our control, is I think we talked about this even when during the discussion, was like the sensitization. Because back home, if you wanted to find information about the hospital, I feel like you literally have to go there physically. And you have to go through 10, 3, 4, 5, 6 people before you actually get the information that you need.
Yeah.
When it's different here, if I just Googled, I did this, I will
see it will pop up on Google,
and I will be able to book an appointment without even talking to nobody. So it's just a different thing in sensitization and the improvement in like services and technology and all of that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
True.
I think at this point we should go and have that massage.
Massage, here we come. Anyway, wonderful discussion. Just like, the other previous discussions that we're constantly having and the ones yet to come. This has been wonderful. Thank you very much to... I don't want to call you my co-host now. The other host, because every time I say co-host, you're like, hey, they can get rid of you anytime.
No, I accept the co-host
okay,
title.
Co-host is fine. Yes, my co-host is John Lungu and Tenjiwe Kalunga. Thank you very much, and we'll see you again in the next episode. This has been the Diaspod.
It's the Diaspod, baby.